Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This is episode number 29, 47, and Doubleshot number 2841. Got two really big books for that might be considered one published by IDW, published by DC Comics. First up we have is Usagi Yojimbo, Saga Book 4. Yep. Now, this book in particular collects issues 53-75 of the Dark Horse volume for Usagi Yojimbo, and Call It Less the Curiosity from Dark Horse Extra, 45 to 48. Now, there are exactly three major stories in here. You have Duel at Kanoji, Travels with Jotaro, and Fathers and Sons. Yes, Duel at Kojiro has got basically a lot of Duel Koji is basically the book basically features Jotaro, which is Usagi's son. Which, of course, basically, you can't exactly tell him that he's his son. That's why I think later on he does know. So the first story is Usagi just going to a town and dealing with this particular duel. And a lot of it's basically training for this upcoming duel. And it's just really fun story. Oh, and it's published in black and white, non-color. And you're probably thinking, is it a showcase book? No, this actually was published in black and white because that's what the writer decided to do. Yep, and when you're back to Dark Horse, he basically published color. Less of Curiosity, it's basically, the story is read like this. It's basically Usagi when he's training, it's just a few pages. And mostly we train for this rematch between these two people who are trying to duel. And it's a very good saga related to this whole thing. It ends quite nicely, too, with the younger guy getting killed and the master surviving. Next up, basically, of Jotaro, you have Usagi traveling with his son. And he just meets up with him. Which, of course, he calls him Uncle Usagi. Now, Usagi does know Jotaro is his son. And Jotaro, at the end of this book here, does know that Usagi is his father, but they don't confirm with each other, father and son, and the reason why he doesn't do it is because he's a Ronin. He will basically ruin his son's reputation. Also, Usagi is seen in the story. He also kisses a woman who is not Marco. Yeah, it's just a fun set of stories where you have Usagi and his son just traveling together. He has not once referred to him as his son, but just for his protection. Yeah, of course, I think it's Kasune he ends up kissing in the story. Is with somebody. But really fun stuff here. I like the whole travels with Jotaro stuff. And of course the following story continues their travels. Yeah. Which proved a lot of fun. I do recommend checking this out because it's a great book. Usagi Yojimbo is probably by far one of the best creator-owned comics of all time, in my opinion. Purely because basically Usagi is awesome. I give book a 10 out of 10. It's just awesome. They also have sort of like Lone Gold Kid that's from the early stuff. That basically just really fun stuff here. Excuse me. Next up is Showcase presents Sergeant Rock Volume 4. which contains 181 and 216. Though technically it doesn't, because it actually skips a couple issues in here. Yes. You're probably thinking, which one? Well, 202 is not here because it's a reprint. Yeah, it's a reprint. Not sure why it's a actually no, was one other story. It was one story here was a reprint. Here was because they do have one issue skipped in here because it was a reprint. It was which that's kind of strange because last time they did include they include a book. It was a reprint. So these are your stories. Monday's Coward, Russ, and by the way, Rob Kaniger, he does the writing for pretty much a lot of these stories. Actually, there's with the caption of issue 194, 194, 196. We captured those two. Mostly he's the writer with either Ross Heath or Joe Kuber on the artwork. Monday's Coward, Tuesday's Hero, Deserts of Easy, Sergeants Don't Stay Dead, Kenneth for Firing Squad, Battle Flag for GI. 3 chapters. This one actually is a reprint that they included here for some reason. It's a reprint of Army at War issue 90, which they included in here despite the fact it's a reprint story. I don't really know why they included it for. The artwork is way different in that one. Showdown for Sergeant, Death for the Easy. The mission was murder. What makes Sergeant run? Death flies high. Firing Squad for Sergeant. Blood in the Desert, which basically deals with desert warfare with World War II. Time for Vengeance, Dead Town, Stop the War, I want to get off. Yeah, this is a very famous one, basically. Where Sergeant Rock is like, no, stop the war, I want to get off, I want to get out of this war, stop the war now. It's like, yeah, he's like crazy. Last Exit for Easy, Pledged Nickel, Nazi Ghost Wolf, The Troubadour, The Graffiti Writer, The Sarge is Dead, Easy's Had It. 204 and 205 are reprints. Yeah, they're full-blown reprints, which include not the stories, and they include the covers, but not the full stories. There's a War On, A Shadow Sparrow's Prayer, A Piece of Rag, A Hawk of Hair, I'm Still Alive, I'm Kilroy, The Treasure St. Daniel, The Quiet War, A Letter for Bulldozer. These are the members of Easy Company. Easy Company, where are you? Pied Piper Apparel and Doom Over Easy. Yeah, they also have in here the Kid Gorillas of Unit 3, Johnny Cloud from their book, and they have this graffiti. But still classic stuff here for Sergeant Rock. And this was, in fact, the last showcase presented Sergeant Rock the DC Air published. As for why they stopped publishing these, I don't know. Apparently they replaced it with the omnibus books for some reason. I don't know why, but I love this stuff. This came out in 2013. 11 years ago. Yeah, but great stuff here with Sergeant Rock. I give it a 10 out of 10. Yep. There's technically one more showcase on Sergeant Rock left to go, and I'll be done with that. Would I think of reading more Sergeant Rock? I probably will, because I love Sergeant Rock. I think he's a fun character. Excuse me. So yeah, that's a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do this. Also, I should point out though, they contain just Sergeant Rock stories, not the full stories. They don't list down here, but that's what happens here. So next up, Demon Lord Retry R. Okay.